Hey, welcome back. Today I am sitting down with an Atlanta powerhouse who has nearly 2 decades of experience in real estate. And she's a top producer, a certified negotiation expert, and a leader who's helping agents grow with the Wolfpack at eXp. You are absolutely going to love the Donika Parker. Okay. So, my guest today is Donika Parker, who is based in Atlanta. Donika has been a real estate agent since 2006, serving diverse communities across the metro Atlanta. She's certified negotiating expert, speaks multiple languages, and has been recognized as a top producer and for Icon Award winner at eXp. So, Donika, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you, Meg. Likewise, I'm so happy and so honored to be here on your channel. So great. I hope we have a great time today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be, I'm so excited for to get your to get this interview started and get the information that you have to share. So, now you have been in real estate since 2006. What are early challenges that taught you the most, and how did you stay consistent for as long as you have?
Originally I'm from Bulgaria and I came here when I'm in my early 20s. And honestly, I was really good at studying, but I hardly had any work experience, right? So that's the first thing. I had just graduated from college. I hadn't had work experience. I didn't know the culture that well. I knew the language perfectly because that's what I majored in college. I majored in English. So this is really what I had going on for me. And the challenge was that when I got into real estate, obviously I didn't know how it's done here. It was really based on a suggestion from an employer. I was working for a builder, but in his office, mostly secretarial work. And he suggested I got into real estate. So I didn't even know what I was getting into. And obviously, when you get into real estate, I mean, there's so many challenges. You're not a, I mean, you're not exactly an employee. You have to, it's your own business, even though I did work on a team, so I wasn't completely on my own. But long story short, because I got licensed in 2006 um, and there was a crash, the big crash came in 2008.
Yeah,
I really struggled with how am I going to get clients, right? Because once you're in this business, that's the most important thing because even if you serve them well, if you don't have them, you can serve them, and you have to have clients. Um,
yeah,
Obviously, and that was the biggest challenge. And at that time, there wasn't that much information. Imagine, more than almost 20 years ago, not a lot of information available, not a lot of, and not only not a lot of information available, but a lot of safekeeping of information. Usually, it was the brokerage that you were with that would give you guidance, but it wasn't that much, there wasn't even that much sharing between agents. It's the team
right.
leader, the broker at the office that would maybe give you some tips. And usually this is a very like just one-sided way of doing business. Like this is how we do business. It didn't sit well with me. And not that it didn't sit well with me, but it wasn't something that I felt comes like natural to me or something that I saw myself doing. And the
Right.
challenge was to find clients. And the biggest challenge was that I realized that if I actually increase my sphere of influence, because everybody was talking about cold calling and door knocking and those times, if I could actually increase my sphere of influence, then I could get more people to know me as a professional, in a personal level as well. And then if people trusted me and liked me enough, then they could give me a business as well. So
Absolutely.
that was the thing. What can I do to get more people to know me, like me, and trust me? And that's where I started from. Otherwise, I would have given up this business, honestly, if if I hadn't, started that. But that was the biggest challenge: not having a sphere, not knowing what this business is all about. But I was young. I didn't have children. I wasn't married, so I had all the time in the world to
Yeah.
invest.
Yeah. Well, and that's like, I think that's important too, because a lot of people think that if they're in a new place or they don't have a big sphere that they can't do it, right? But it's like you can grow your sphere, you can
Right.
become that person. So I love hearing that. Now, I know that you are a certified negotiation expert, and your clients often highlight that as one of your awesome skills. So how did you develop the expertise and how does that impact your success today?
So obviously it's a designation that you get, and I don't think that getting it, makes you the expert. It helps a lot. Obviously, it helps to build authority, and I think that's very important. But the real education comes with practice as well, and how you learn to really negotiate in a way that's and everybody has different style, but some people use more aggression and bullying in order to get what they want. I personally try to get myself out of the equation, or my ego more to say. And really, when the biggest thing is, if somebody asks you for something, it's not, I'm not going to be the decision maker,
Right.
so I leave it at that. I want to always want to have good relationship with my co-agent, and then I always take it to my client, be it the buyer or the seller. So okay, that's what you want, fine, okay, let me check with my client what they want to do. And this way there's no animosity between us agents, because we're the ones communicating. If we get ego get in the way, or if there is some, if we're arguing, right, because we one of us wants to be the winner in the
Right.
debate, then we may not achieve anything. And sometimes it's not what you want, it's what your client wants to do as well. Because I've had situation where I've said, hey, this is what they asked. Honestly, I don't think that if you don't do it, the deal will fall apart. But and my client said, hey, you know what? I want to do this nice gesture for them. And they did it. It's up to them. It's not, I tell them, hey, I think you don't have to, but if you want to, and the
Yeah.
client said, yes, I want to give them that. I appreciate them. I want to give them that good feeling. I also always try to keep because a lot of times one side during the process, it could be at any point in the transaction, needs something from the other side. Maybe they forgot they had an appointment on the closing date. Maybe they forgot they have a trip. Maybe they have an emergency trip, or
Yeah.
something where they cannot really perform according to the contract, and now they want a favor from the other side when there are no contingencies and no conditions in the contract that actually allow for that
That's
extension,
very true.
something else. And what happens when you keep a good relationship with the other person? You can still defend your client, you can still do the best for your client, but when you have a good working relationship, you can get a lot done. When you ask for a favor, people are more willing to grant you that favor and
Absolutely.
be more understanding, because you're actually you've already proven that you're very you've been friendly and nice, and very respectful. So these are the positions that I come from. You always have to ask, right? In negotiations, if you don't ask, you don't get. So,
Yep. Yep.
that's the
Very
other
true.
thing. Don't
Yeah.
be afraid
We
to.
always ask. We always ask.
Don't be afraid to ask. Nobody's going to cancel a contract because you asked for something. If you don't ask, you're not going to get.
That's
So
very true. Yeah. I have the same outlook. So even when we were, selling real estate off the shelf from 2020 through 2024-ish, a lot of times I got my clients' offers accepted, even not being the highest, by calling the agent ahead of time. Hey, we're submitting an offer. Here's what it's like to work with me. I don't want to treat this as a competition. We're a team. Once we are in the contract, we are a team. We all have the same outcome. So let's stay on the same page, communicate. I'm very much about communication. So I love hearing that, and that's what works for you because I work very much in the same way. So
yeah, absolutely. And that's why they picked you, because who wants to work with an agent that they're not going to get along with? And that's
exactly.
one of the filters when you have to filter through 20, 40, 60 offers. Who's the best offer, and who is the most easygoing,
Right.
understanding agent, feels like we're going to actually have a smooth transaction.
Absolutely. I love that. So you also serve many diverse communities and you do speak multiple languages. How has being multilingual expanded your reach and influence in the Atlanta market?
So yes, it happened. It didn't happen by design, right? Obviously, most of the time there are sort of circumstances that where you learn different languages. But obviously, I'm from Bulgaria, so I speak Bulgarian, which is very close to Russian.
Mhm.
But that's my native language, and there's a big community here in Atlanta, big Bulgarian community. Yes, so that's a big part of my clientele. My buyers and sellers are, Bulgarian, different ages, and different parts in Bulgaria as well, but they live here. So that's a big part of my clientele. I speak Spanish because my husband's from Venezuela, so that's helped a lot. A lot of people speak. I mean, everybody speaks English. My Bulgarian clients speak English. My Spanish clients speak English. However, in your native language, people feel closer to you,
Yeah,
or sometimes certain terminology is easier to understand in your native language, and there's just sometimes even more trust. So I've got a lot of Spanish speaking clients as well, and it's helped me a lot to to be closer to my clients, and obviously English. I live here, that's what I studied, so you know obviously
that's so great.
it's a language. So yeah, it's been great, and I'm grateful that
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love that. It's like you can serve so many people and helping them. And then it's even if they do speak English, like you said, like it's might sometimes just be easier to explain it in their native tongue. So that I think that's awesome in a way to be able to serve your clients. And now you did partner with eXp and the Wolfpack. So what made you choose this model and how was it, or how did it help you scale, mentor, and expand your business to what it is today?
So I was it took me some time, right? Because when I was right when I was getting to know our group, the Wolfpack and eXp Realty, I was at my previous brokerage. At that time, I was on an upward trajectory. I had my broker reach out to me and colleagues and tell me, hey, can you come and speak to our meeting? Can you be on this panel? I started being recognized, monthly as well. And I was like, oh, really? I was just so focused on my thing, right? I was so focused. I wasn't paying attention to any of that. But then all of a sudden, wow, okay, now I'm getting labeled as a top producer, and obviously it's always a good thing. And then at that time, I also found Montserrat online, found Connor Steinberg, and you don't know what you don't know. And I didn't know what I actually was missing
Right.
in my business. And I didn't change the core of who I am or how I do business, but I got associated with a very modern group in a brokerage that gives you a lot of opportunities and in a lot of different ways to a lot of different streams of income as well, right? So
Yeah.
you can use them or don't or not, but you don't lose them at any point. You can take advantage of what the company offers you, and that's one of the greatest things. So very modern, very progressive group, and also the culture of our group where we learn so much from each other, because I only know what I know. But what if I have an agent who wants to partner with me that doesn't do things 100% the way I do? How can I teach them to do things the way they want to do them? Well, we always have somebody who can help in the group,
Absolutely.
and there's so much collaboration because inherently we're motivated to collaborate with each other, and there's a big spirit of generosity in the group, which is one of my core values, personally, professionally. And I love this part. um there's culture, there's opportunity for production, for growth. We have people at different stages of growth, so you want to get here, you have somebody to reach out to listen to learn from.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and so far everybody who's been on the channel that we all have that same outlook. It's our community is just amazing with the support that we receive from each other, and at no cost. We just want to see each other win. So I couldn't agree with you more on that. And so what are the biggest mistakes you see agents make in negotiations or contracts, and what advice would you give to them to avoid that?
I mean, what? Yes. One of the things, again, what we mentioned earlier, get your ego out. It's not you winning over the other person. It's your client winning. So we always have to come from that position and really do the best that we can for our clients and show our clients that we're doing it, because sometimes the client may feel like, oh, you don't defend me enough, or, we want that. We want them to feel like they have somebody in their corner. So we have to do the best that we can for them. But at the same time, we have to do it in a way where we don't burn bridges. We can still sit together at the closing table. And, that's what I think. And people have to, also learn and study, read books, watch videos. Um, Really to make sure that they're good at that.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, so top producer, you're a top producer. You've earned the Icon Award at eXp. What systems or habits or even like rituals have helped you to stay consistent at such a high level?
Okay, so I am not the biggest automation person, right? And I know a lot of times, obviously, automation saves time. So I have implemented some things with monthly market reports for my past clients, because I want to keep in touch. There's so many, good thing. I mean, good. Apps now, especially that I use KV Core as my CRM. So every client can be connected once they have an address, can be connected to a monthly valuation of their home, of what's sold
Right.
nearby. So they get these automatically. I like those because it's a way for people to keep in touch with that. But then as far as everything else, I schedule and I make it a habit of staying in touch with people. So it's not random. I either go down a list, but I make it a habit. Social media, I have to get in touch with. I have to basically watch what's happening in my client's life, and we're connected to social media. So my touches don't consist of only emails
Right.
and text messages, but following all of them on social media if they're there, just for me to know what's happening, because this way I can connect with them, and I comment, I write direct messages, I send a magazine bi-monthly, where just people get something physical in their hands, real estate related, a little bit of home and real estate related. So I do that. And I've gotten good positive reviews about that. So obviously I send my Christmas card every year, but I try to do something. I want it to be a little over the top. I don't want it to be a very like anything that you see like so generic. I want it to be something nicer, maybe a little useful, with a calendar with some important dates on the back, or something else, or maybe people will keep it on their fridge all year. I don't know, but I try to.
Yeah.
It's like really usually just one-sided, and there's a QR code on it with a greeting for like Christmas or holiday wishes, New Year's wishes. So people scan the QR code and they get me talking. It's a 1 minute video, 30
I
second.
love that. That's so
Yeah,
great.
people were like, "Oh, Donika, you're so technological." I'm like, "Hey, this is, a very, not a big deal." But instead of writing, I write a short message. But then my video is a little longer. I want it to be heartfelt. I want them to, connect with me if they haven't talked to me for some time. So, these are the main things. But I do, again, with personal touches. I've done automations where I even segmented my clients from my phone, so that I don't want to spam them, and I'm using my number and I segmented them into lists: women, men, three different groups of English, Spanish, Bulgarian.
Yeah.
Honestly, once I start sending a message, and sometimes with automation, I know one time a message got sent twice, and I got so embarrassed because somehow people feel that it's an automated message. They don't respond the same. And I said, you know what? Let me make a list, 10 minutes every day, 10 or 20 people. I'll get through to them. I'll get through in no time. That's my prospecting. Let me reach out personally. Let them feel like it's this is only for them. Uh,
Yeah.
and that's how, some things, I don't. Again,
Yeah.
it's
That's so great. And so do you do it like text messages or is it phone calls or a mix of both?
so again, I stopped the automated messages, even though I was able to do them with the person's first name. So it's an
Yeah.
automated message, but anyway, I stopped that. And yeah, it's just a personal outreach. How are you doing? It's been so long. If I haven't talked to them, um, hey, how have you been? I know it's been a while, but how are things going? Right?
Yeah.
Like very normal. Or sometimes I saw a friend, for example, that she posted a picture. She went to a concert here in Atlanta. All I have to do is just say, "Hey Gary, I saw you went to a concert. How was it?" And I know
Yeah.
the singer, right? Oh, how was the concert? I was thinking of going, which is true, but I didn't get around to it. So again, it's just personal touches. Sometimes I'm driving, I'm passing by my client's neighborhood, text message. Guess where I was today? I stopped by.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't take anything, and we always have, even we have those little like empty spaces, or I'm not sure gaps, during our day where maybe we're waiting for somebody, we've got 10 minutes. Maybe only, honestly, if I'm at a grocery line at, I don't know, 6 o'clock, I'm doing some grocery shopping, and I have to be there for 10 minutes. What would I do? I can send five text
Yeah.
messages.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's actually a
So
really good strategy. Yeah.
but that's my, it's like a habit.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to build habits where if I meet people in person, same thing. You have to let them know, if
Yeah.
you like something in their appearance, if you like something that they did, if you like an achievement their son, their daughter had. But obviously you have to know what's going on, which social media, people post about it. All I have to do is look, that's all. And then I know. And when I see the person, I mention, oh, you ran that race. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Oh, you guys, your son got um um, a different belt in karate, taekwondo, whatever. And people like that. Somebody has compliment their dog, say happy birthday for, if their dog has a birthday, it's important. That's an important part of your
Yeah.
family. So just paying attention, being very strategic about that, being sincere, obviously sincere and genuine, but just pay attention to the world around you, because everybody likes to be noticed and likes to feel special and likes to know that they mean something, and they're not just one of many. So
Yeah.
that's my approach.
I love that. That actually answered my next question, which was for longevity, what should agents focus on first, which would be specialization, branding, community, or systems. So you touched on that. So for you, it's big, you're big on community. And I really love that. I do feel like too, when you're doing business with people that know and love you, it's a little bit easier to do business. So
Yeah. And
that's
you have
so
to maintain that. You have to maintain that. You have to be in front of people. And it's not, you can't be in front of people for 2 weeks and then disappear for 2 months
yeah,
or 2 years, and get any results, or think that people will actually remember you. Because even if you just reach out with a personal message and people know you're a real estate agent, maybe a few
yeah,
hours later somebody will mention they're looking for a house. Guess who they're going to think of? Because they already trust you. They see, I post a lot of stories. A lot of stories, because they're so easy to post, and there's a big reach for them as well, to my
yeah,
audience. So as long as people know I'm a professional, I'm working, I get the job done, you post your reviews, right, what somebody else said about you, then
right.
then people will trust you. If they trust you and they remember you, why wouldn't they give you business?
Right. Yeah, and that I fully agree with that. And I think that's important too, why we're on social media because, we're staying front of mind and it doesn't always have to be real estate posts,
No.
but it's a good way to stay in front of the people again that know and love you and trust you. So, I love that that's been your way and it does work really well. I love your stories. You always
Thank
do so
you.
good with it. So now, okay, last question, our bonus question. Looking ahead, what's your big vision for your real estate legacy, and how does eXp and the Wolfpack fit into that journey?
So personally and professionally, it's not something that I came up with, but and people have heard it, but I always want to leave people better than I found them. Always leave people better than I found than you find them. So how can you change somebody's day, life maybe, right? But how can you make it better? How would people want to be around you, and how can you make things better for them? Again, it doesn't have to be huge. It could be small things, and you could affect, you could influence a lot of people. You could help a lot of people. And that's my goal, really. And even with personal and family as well, because let's not forget that it's not only business. We've got families that we created. We have kids that we brought into this world, and we're also responsible to be with them, and
Right.
to give them the best we can, and to give them the best version, make them the best version of ourselves, and not only give ourselves to our clients, because it's very easy to do, and I'm guilty of it as well. So I want to be there for my family as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can agree with that. That's what I said when I got into real estate. I don't mind working a lot. I just don't want to be the mom who's always at work. And because my previous job, that's kind of where I was all the time, was at work. So, well, I really want to thank you for showing us what long-term success and negotiation mastery look like in real estate. Your story is a huge inspiration for agents who want to build a career with consistency, culture, and confidence. And for those of you watching, if you found value in this conversation, drop your favorite takeaway in the comments, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more success stories. And if you're ready to elevate your business with proven systems, mentorship, and the Wolfpack community, click the link in the description to book a private Zoom call with Donika and I. Let's map out how you can create a business that's built to last. And I will link all of Donika's profiles in the description so you can follow her as well. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Meg. Bye.